The truth is an irony, just like animal farm. Justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence. Islamic leaders silence. Kings and queens silence. Traditional leaders silence. So who go say the truth? We are the workers of composite call. Now by area, why no better? We are the workers of composite call. One guy's out here, why no better? Who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Oh, he need it now, see what I see so. Now your friend on an iron camasam. Only papi obeka nice and beer. So I want one over to a two. Everybody was afraid. And until I learned to my quantity again, once my board dumping one and I cheat. But who go tell the truth? Nanai or say me. Nanso bien person beka wasam because everybody is afraid. Anya safwe muayini. Akuku drofo nyina dalima. And who go say the truth? Obiaja konson so to grow your mansa to me be a cacobrafo. Efo anyina ye. Efo when you know yet. Na so kutrata down so be dia back or why no keke. I fene for be man mo piafo efo no cross on my mo. Anya safwe mo ayini. Akuku trofo nyina dalima. And who go say the truth? Abaya di bote chino. Yedi bi bebo nyande bi. Tachisa would your mouth pipinuma. Would your mind never shine my preference? But who go tell the truth? TUC silence. Even journalists silence. So then who go say the truth? Right is right. Wrong is wrong, no matter how you justify. You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you, now the person become your target. Jobless, no they mean senseless. Poverty, no they mean useless. One day, them go resist.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to MyView Show here live on TodayGhanaNews TV, where every Monday evening we bring you the best socio-political talk show with matters relating to Ghana, to Africa, and the world at large. And this evening, we are here again after a while. Indeed, after I said that this and every evening, I reminded myself, or I got reminded of the fact that we have been off air for a while now through so many factors, a mirage of factors that have prevented us from bringing you very insightful programs as usual. And so, to all our regular viewers, we apologize sincerely and profusely to you for being off air for a while. But then again, we are back, and we are back with a bang, and we are back just to serve you. And this evening is no different. As a matter of fact, this evening, our show is what I choose to call a home affair. Why do I call it home affair? I call it home affair because today's guest is not a stranger to this show at all. As a matter of fact, most of you would know him as the original host of this show, or if you like, the co-host of this show. Sometime last week, he disappeared for a while, and when we eventually got him back, he assured us that he would not disappear, except for some time this year when he would disappear again. And true to his word, he went missing again. But fortunately for you and fortunately for us, we have managed, as they say in the Ghanaian media palace, and as Honorable Ablakwa says, we've managed to intercept him and to bring him back here live. So today, this evening, we are being joined live on the show by Dr. Jerome Pan. Just for the purpose of this discussion, he's a man of many portfolios who follow a lot of media activities and political activities. But for the purposes of this show, since we say it's a home affair, we are going to introduce him as the original host of this show. So, Mr. Pan, welcome back. How are you?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, and Jehovah's grace, I'm doing very well, and I hope same with you.
Well, we would have said same. We would have said we are doing well as well. But if you run away for this while and you come back, we can only miss you, and we are not sure how we are feeling. I would wait for our viewers to come and tell you how we should receive you, whether we should receive you with more nostalgic feelings or we should receive you with anger for abandoning us in the cold or probably in the heat and running away.
Well, I think we need to take a second look at this whole thing. It's like anytime I disappear and reappear, you always want me to be the guest on your show. But we will see. We'll share more experience together. But at least looking at the emotional expressions on your face, it tells a lot that good things are on the way. Unlike some of us who have just returned from no other place but Akufado's country, and the heat is still on us, but we will overcome it.
Well, you started well. You said you returned from Akufo-Addo's country. We didn't even ask you where you went, but you seem to have given yourself away. So tell us, where did you disappear to?
Well, as usual, once we find ourselves in this part of the world and we are acquiring knowledge, skills, and a lot of experience, once a while we have the opportunity to go back and transfer that knowledge to at least the younger ones to see the impact that we can really make. We are not totally running away from the country, but at least even though we are not physically present, once a while, once you show up and you are able to support them, it helps a lot. So I had the opportunity. I think almost every 2 years I do that. This time around, I had the opportunity of going to the Accra Technical University to teach 2 courses for a semester. And I think, well, it was a good experience, to be very honest with you. And if you look at the setup and the structures that are being run in those universities, and if you carry your experience here and your expectations down there, to be very honest with you, you will come back very frustrated. But hey, you have to do what you need to do. You have to teach. It's good that you teach. Here you have a lot of laboratories. You can do all the experiments. There you don't have. That is not only the Accra Technical University, but it's the same thing with almost all the technical universities. Even the original university, some of them face the same challenges. But all the same, the joy is in the interaction you have with the students. You are able to use your experience to explain certain things to them, which they wouldn't have gotten if you had not gone to join them. And that is a satisfaction. Once you are able to teach and students gain from it, that is where you drive your satisfaction from. So that took me away to Accra Technical University for 3 good months. I was really in the heart of Accra. If you know the position of the Accra Technical University, I was really in the heart of Accra. And all the heat and everything, I can share that experience with you. So that took me away.
Well, it's interesting you are talking about the conditions in the the technical university in Accra, which is first of all the heart of the country, the seat of government. So one would expect that if things are not good anywhere, but at least in Accra, things would be way better than the rest of the country. But we'll come to that subsequently. But this whole idea of technical universities was brought from the concept of the technical universities in Germany. They came to Germany, people from Ghana came to Germany, did feasibility studies and did whatever, and went to Ghana to go and implement. So one would expect that, considering the fact that it already exists, the template already exists, and that it was just a matter of copy and paste, that probably the standards and what you would expect of a technical university in Germany would be what you would find in Ghana. How come but that appears not to be what your experience was?
Not at all. Not at all. You see, the technical university concept was introduced by the National Democratic Congress, the NDC. And unfortunately, after the introduction, they lost the elections and the MPP took over. Not only in Ghana, but the African countries, what usually happens is when one political party happens to introduce a particular concept or a policy and is unable to make sure that it is birthed and they are out of government, the next party that comes into government decides to turn a lukewarm attitude towards it and try to mess it up so that it doesn't go to the credit of the party that actually did the introduction. Now, notwithstanding that, if you look at what they picked from Germany into Ghana, really, it would have been very difficult if we were expecting that we should have it at the same level. Because in the German system, somebody who comes out of the technical university would not be competing with another person from the traditional university for a particular position. Because the technical universities are actually geared at producing people for the middle manpower level. And then the traditional universities for the upper enclave. Back home in Ghana, it is not the same. You'll find that even those coming out of the technical universities are competing with those from the traditional university for the same positions. Now, if you look at the technical university system in Germany here, it's about 70% practical work, because that is where the skill is more needed. If you go back home in Ghana, it is not so. It is essentially the same as what is running through in the traditional university. It is just a change of name. Why do I even say so? We have the equipment that is supposed to be used for these students at the technical universities. The NDC government did well. At least they were able to bring the minimum requirement to raise all the polytechnics to the status of a technical university. But subsequently, the other governments have turned deaf ears to those things. Let me share one experience with you. I don't know how good it will be. If you take the Accra Technical University, for instance, you see where it is. Traditionally, it was not meant to be a university. And that is why it is centered right in there with a very small space. Now, the previous government, the NDC government, had acquired a piece of land towards Amasaman area and has started construction of a new campus. They put up some structures. Even as I speak with you now, the mechanical engineering course students run their programs at that new campus. when the MPP took over, they turned completely blind eyes to that campus. All the structures that are started came to a standstill. All the road networks that have been constructed came to a standstill, and it is really very difficult. And on the hindsight, most of the lecturers are praying that the NDC will come back to government. And when the NDC comes back to government, they expect that that campus would be worked on to enable them move most of their students to the new campus. There are a lot of difficulties in controlling security controls in the campus right there at Tudu, because anybody well-dressed walks into the gate and you think that is a student. Some walk into offices and pick things and get out, you think that's a lecturer. So now they are forced to walk around, lecturers are forced to walk around with ID cards on their neck. And that allows you into some places. I mean, you cannot continue. This is a tertiary institution. We cannot continue this way. The unfortunate thing is that we think about ourselves. We don't think about the people that we want to lead. Because if you are thinking about people that you want to lead, it doesn't matter whether it is NDC or MPP. Your children are going to be in there. Unfortunately for the politicians on the higher enclave, they don't bother about that because their kids will definitely come abroad to come and study. So whatever goes on, they don't care. They just care about themselves. That is a difficulty. But to be very sincere and honest with you, there is a lot of work that needs to be done at the technical universities. They are just producing degrees. Yes, please.
So basically, what we did was just to change names and change certificates, and all other things remain the same.
Perfectly. All we did was to change the name, change the certificates, change the salary structure of the people in there, and that was all about it. Any other thing is the same. The annoying part is that courses that were being run as HND courses and the rest, it is the course code that is just changed, not the content. That is anointing. So it makes no difference if I go in there and do HND laboratory technology and somebody has gone there to do BSc laboratory technology. It's the same thing. It's just the course code that have been changed, but not the course content. So that is where we are.
That's an interesting discussion to have. For me, when I think about the education sector, I don't think about it as in terms of silos. I think about it in terms of the entire chain, because increasingly what we have experienced over the period have been to witness what they say in nominal terms, an increase in percentage of not percentage, nominal amounts devoted to the education sector, but in terms of the percentage of GDP that seems to be falling. And most of the allocation to the education sector seems to be going towards the senior high school, primarily to fuel recurrent expenditure in the senior high school, to the detriment of in terms of the pre-tertiary sector, to the detriment of the basic education. As for tertiary education, I really do not know what anybody expects to do with the graduates of the free SHS who are now going to come out in droves, and whether anybody has thought about the capacity and how to accommodate them once they move to the tertiary sector. So who knows? Maybe very soon we'll have a free tertiary education, and then we'll push them over and we'll give them a free job or something. I don't know.
Maybe the NDC will introduce a free tertiary education. Let me share one experience with you, which is very disheartening. We are all aware that the traffic light system was only being run at where? At the senior high schools. Take it from me today on good record. That traffic system is being run at the tertiary institutions. At the Accra Technical University, it is being run. Okay? When I arrived in March, the first year students were on campus and writing their exams. The third year students were home and attending lectures online. And the second month in April, the second year students came to school, and then the first year students went home, and the third year students came for 3 weeks orientation before they could go for their internships. So that traffic light system is not only, you see, it's so silent and more in the public at the SS level. But when you come to the tertiary institutions, they are doing it. Even the University of Ghana, they are doing it because there are courses that they run online, others are at home, and others are on campus. But I see they have been able to control it in such a way that it's not up there. But it's unfortunate. Let me be honest with you. Students come to campus and spend 1 month, and they have to write exams and go back home at the university. Huh. They said if you want to destroy a country, destroy the educational system. But I think that is where we are heading to.
Because of my other life, which is very liaised with education, I would rather we don't continue this conversation in the education field because, yeah, it saddens me. It saddens me a lot when education, in particular, is being toyed with. Because I had I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I told the person that what we are not thinking about is that with these people and the manner in which we're educating these people, a few years from now, just give it 5 years, these same people are going to be out there in the job market. And you can imagine a doctor who probably is half-baked, taking care of the people in the hospital. You can imagine, without the effects of all of these things, we're already having teachers writing licensure exams who cannot write full sentences, correct sentences, and they are the ones going to be teaching the next generation. And so when you think about it in that context, you probably will give up on Ghana, but we'll not give up on Ghana yet. So we can't
give up on Ghana.
Let's quickly move the discussion away to probably other areas that probably can give me joy. So apart from your experience in the education sector, what was your experience with other parts of society, the economy, security, and
that's an interesting area you want us to get into. Look, when people tell you that the country is moving, I mean, most of the surveys say the 70% of Ghanaians say the country is moving in the wrong direction. And people keep asking, the wrong direction, what does that mean? Daily life. Let me just give a practical daily life. Sometimes I wake up in the morning. I was living around Amasaman, and I moved from there to Accra. I pay 9 Ghana cedis for a trotro to Accra. Then I go to campus, I do my work, I finish. In the evening, when I'm returning, you go back to the same trotro and you pay 10 Ghana cedis. Then you ask yourself, where has the 1 Ghana cedi come from, even though you have the price tags that are displayed? Well, they can say that one, they use their discretion to do it, so we give them the benefit of the doubt. You get into Accra Central Market, you buy an item, you buy a tin of Milo for 35 Ghana cedis. You take it home. 2 days later, you come back. That same tin of Milo that you bought for 35, now you go for it for 37 Ghana cedis. Surprisingly, there are days that you can buy that tin of Milo in the morning for 35 Ghana cedis and go back in the evening of that very day and you buy it for 37 Ghana cedis. And immediately you ask why, then they tell you that it is the exchange rate.
Hold on, Dr. Pad. Let's not rush over this topic. I need clarification on this. And you see, this is why it's important. It was important for me that once you have come, we have a conversation with you, because sometimes for those in the diaspora, when they listen to people, when they talk to people back home, and especially when money gets involved, they probably there's always some form of distrust, because people think that people are trying to fleece them or trying to dupe them because they feel that they are abroad, they want to milk money out of them. And so for me, it was important to get the perspective, first-hand experience of somebody who has lived outside, but has come back to Ghana and has lived in Ghana and has also felt it and is relaying the information. Now, here is where the difficulty is. Because for those who are outside Ghana, their main source of information from Ghana is from their relatives first, and also from what they hear in the media. Just last week, the finance minister was in parliament to present the supplementary budget. And he basically told Ghanaians that the currency has stabilized and that the economy had turned the corner and that things were moving in the right direction. Now, here you are telling us about this, if the price of things increasing. So what is where is the disconnect?
When you listen to the finance minister and all those people out there, those are political talks. When you go in, they tell you inflation has reduced to 25%. It's on the books. They should say that, But on the ground, it is not true. On the ground, it is not true. They forced the Bank of Ghana to accept a particular interbank rate for the exchange rates, which they use to calculate their inflation. You cannot control the person at the Makola market who does importation of goods from other countries. It's not true. It's not possible. And so when they quote those figures and say the system has turned, the economy has turned a corner and all those things, and everything is stabilized, please, excuse me to say, Dr. Baumia said, when he said those facts the previous year, they were correct and they are still correct. They
were true then and they are true now.
They are still true today, but they are looking at the difference in the rate of depreciation and all those things. Those are bogus. Excuse me my language. What is important is you who put your hand into your pocket and you buy items in the open market. When you go down, you go and change. Let's take even 100 euro, because at the time I got there, the euro was changing not interbank rate or not even at the Forex Bureau, but in the open market, it was 15.2. The following week, I went back, it was 16.7. So you go in there. If you just go and change, let's take 100 euro. You see that you get a lot of money. You think that you have that money. You remove 50 Ghana cedis, buy airtime for 20 Ghana cedis, and the next second, the 50 Ghana is disappeared from your system. And that is how you feel the inflation, and not the books that they keep talking to us every day. When they say they stabilize, you see, when the Minister of Finance was talking about that the cedi has been stabilized, it's because they got a trench from the IMF into the system, and they had forced the cocoa board, the syndicated loan, they had to suppress it and not serve the farmers, so they were keeping some monies left and right. That is where they think that the idea of their reserves was going higher and they were stabilizing the cedi. But it is not so. It is you and I who go to the market, we determine how the inflation is affecting us, and not those people who read the books. They read. They don't care. They don't buy from the market as you and I would buy.
Okay. Wait. I'm looking for something to excite myself. But you are. I don't know whether you deliberately made up your mind that you will not give me good news.
No, I'll give you a lot of good news if you want.
Okay. So let's go to energy. At least
let's go
months
to
ago, the energy sector.
Oh, perfect.
Some months ago, before I think while you were still here, the reports that we got was that there was what Ghanaians call doomsor, and that there was a power instability. The energy minister then, who is now running mate right now for the NPP, said that there was nothing like doomsor, and actually that there was no need for anybody for a timetable, and that if anybody wanted a timetable, they should go and produce their own timetable, and that things are fine, and that there were just a few, technical issues, and that those will be resolved. I think that has been resolved right now, largely, and now power is stable in Ghana. Oh,
That one, you are perfectly right. And power is very stable. Very stable in the sense that within an hour, you can have 3 power outages. Okay? Within 1 hour, you can account 3 power outages.
that's that's
So
that,
if
that, that,
somebody
that's that's the
if
opposite of
somebody
stable.
say that they have stabilized power and there is no doom, so it's doom CAC or whatever it is, I mean, it is probably where the person lives. But in totality, that power has not been stabilized. Even before I left, eventually they came out with a series of announcements about these power outages because of whatever it is, left and right, crude, what all the nonsense, excuse me, that they were bringing up as excuses for us not having stable power. But you know, the most funny and significant thing that Ghanaians need to open their eyes is that they have introduced what is called the smart meter.
Mm.
And they are claiming that the smart meter is to avert all the losses that they were having in all those things. It is not so. The smart meter is an intentionally created meter that will limit your usage of energy. Once you get a particular threshold, it cuts you off until it gets to a point, then it comes back. So it's a strategy they are using, and it is not. It is one of the things, excuse me to say, from the West, to push us into the new system that they want to generate for the whole the whole world. So they have started that smart meter system as a pilot project. As of last week, I understand, I read the practice has started in Kumasi, Asoka
Mm.
area, and they are introducing those things. I experienced it because where I lived was one of the houses that they first came and put that meter there. And with that meter, they tell you, oh, wherever you are, you can even be in Accra and you can recharge your meter in Wa. They only need to, a token will be given for you to enter the token number. But my brother, it is a strategy, that smart meter, to limit you. We have other even transformers, which are smart transformers. Those, to some extent, you could say yes, it's a good thing because but what it means is that as soon as it starts raining and you are having a lightning and thunder and the rest, it cuts off and then all of you are in darkness. And that is what it is. That is the latest update to the electricity situation or the energy situation. So if they say it is stabilized because they have introduced a smart meter. Beyond that, 1 hour you can experience 3 power outages. It is not somebody who is saying it. I suffered it. I usually, very often, even in the night, you know, there is no consistency. Today, your light can go off in the night at 10 p.m. and you expect that by at least by 6 a.m. the light will come. The light wouldn't come. It will come around 12 noon the following day. And when you think that it's going to be stable for you to do other things, by 6 p.m. the light is off again.
Yeah, but you saw me scratching my head. I'm thinking about where I can go for some kind of reprieve and see where I can get some good news from. Okay, so at least if for nothing at all, the health sector should have something good, because we read about 2 months ago that the health insurance scheme, National Health Insurance Scheme, had at least ruled out a system where they were going to absorb the cost of kidney patients who were undergoing treatment, and that at least for some category, I think basically the majority, the older people and those under 18 or so, those would have their treatment for free. At least I think if one wants to look for good news, that at least is something that's worth celebrating. No?
Definitely, because kidney treatment, dialysis, and the rest are very expensive. That one, yes. So if health insurance is going to absorb that, we'll give them thumbs up, so that people who are faced with these difficulties, will be able to access treatment at either free or at a reduced cost. However, if health insurance is owing all the health service providers not 1 year, not 2 years, and they have not been able to settle them, how are they going to generate money to go and pay for services of dialysis? So, you rightly said, those who might be suffering from these kidney issues are the minority, yes. So in that sense, we can push some amount of money from somewhere and then take good care of them. But remember, issues of dialysis or issues of kidney diseases does not come overnight. It is a systematic condition that generates to that level. So if you now have enough funds to provide enough for the various health facilities to be able to curtail the degeneration of this condition, is not better than waiting till the person gets to the, excuse me to say, terminal stage, and then you absorb the cost of treatment. That, in my own opinion, does not make much sense. So we should rather be working on preventive. And here's the case that the health insurance owes so much. You see, when it comes to the health insurance, there's one thing that pains me a lot. I don't know if it is the same with others up there. Yes, we pay a premium for our health insurance. That's okay. And we expect that it should go into the treatment and provision of facilities for our health facilities or our health centers. Do you know that a percentage of the health insurance money that we pay goes to our MPs?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Are they sick?
They are not sick. A percentage is given to the MPs for MPs constituency development. Then I ask myself, why would an MP be giving a percentage from health insurance when that money should have gone to Ministry of Health to put other facilities there? That is where I have a big problem. And when it comes to issues of funds for the MPs, we have a united house. Okay? Once it's a common thing for the MPs, we have a united house because they are the beneficiaries. If it is not for them, then you can hear the opposition and then the majority joining it out left and right for the cameras, excuse me to say. But as soon as it is for their benefit, they get united, and that is where we are now. And I believe strongly that Ghanaians are not annoyed enough, or they're not angry enough. We need to rise this thing and stop it.
Well, I mean, that's not surprising, considering the fact that one of the policies that's been implemented has been the capping of funds to statutory funds. So for things like the GET fund, how do you call it, health insurance and what have you. Now they've been a cap on how much is given them, and the excess is put in that black box called consolidated fund. That keeps consuming without bringing anything out. So that is not surprising at all. I've run out of places to search for good news. So we'll take a break, take some messages from our viewers, and when we come back, I'll run to politics and see probably maybe I'll get some good news from that place. So take a glass of water. Let's take a break, take some comments from our viewers, and then we'll get back to you, Dr. Pan. So if you are listening to us, this is MyView Show here live on Today Ghana News TV, where this evening we are joined. Our guest for today is Dr. Jerome Pan, who is a co-host of this show but has been away for some time. He is also from the Africa Good Governance Network. He's been talking to us about his experience in Ghana and what he has seen in Ghana, first-hand experience. So let's take some comments from our viewers. Lady Mal _2, he said, powerful. Dr. Jerome, welcome. We miss you. whatever you went to enjoy, bring some to us. You are watching live on Twitch via satellite from St. Petersburg in Russia. Thank you very, Lady Mal. And thank you for reminding. We'll remind him to bring us some of the goodies he brought from Ghana. Sekapa TV, good evening to you and to your Sekapa family, rather. Good evening to you and to all your viewers. Dr. Jerome, welcome. I'm sure you are able to feel the heat of Akufo-Addo's government. Welcome back, and you are watching from Jumapo near Akufo-Addo. Thank you very much, Sekapa family, for doing the watching. Kwasi Nsia, good evening to you. You say our educational system has been in shambles since the immortal. God save Ghana and our future. You are watching from Anglo Town in Koforidua. Thank you very much, Kwesi Nsia, for your message. Jaframa TV, good evening to you and good evening to all your viewers. You say, I am happy you want to impact knowledge onto the youth. You are watching from Rara in Uti region. Thank you very much to Jaframa TV and to all your viewers. Kweku Yivu, Kweku, you say, Doctor, the educational system is very sad. It is okay for you or your part. Greetings from Suhum. It's okay for you to do your part, I think. Okay, you are greeting us from Suhum. Thank you very much. Fans TV, good evening to you and to all your viewers. Wow, I don't know that the traffic system, you didn't know that the traffic system is at the top of the education system also, and you are watching from Aflao in the Volta region. Thank you very much. Frima Oye, Frima, you say what Dr. Jerome is saying is the truth. The price of cooking oil has never been stable in Ghana since 2019. And you are watching from Matthew near Ho. Thank you very much for watching and doing the watching as always. Frimpom Bafi, you say you did talk about the cement and building materials. The price has never been stable. God save Ghana. Greetings from Akusi near Sumenya. Okay, yeah. Building price materials and cement is another issue. NDC Diaspora Union, of course, NDC. Good evening to you and to everybody listening. You say, this is very sad for Ghanaians in Ghana. Doctor, welcome back. Greetings from Amsterdam, Holland. Thank you very much, NDC Diaspora Union, for doing the viewing as always. Asempa Hene Boachi. Asempa Hene, good evening to you. You say, watching and listening from Aching Himai. There is too much hardships in Ghana under Akufo-Addo government. Thank you very much, Asempa Heneboache, for your comment. Nyame Yao boy, yeah, popular tea seller. You see, Doctor, I think the power off is only in the big cities. Wow. Watching from Nkwanta in Oti region. I am the popular tea seller in Nkwanta Lorry Station. Well, thank you very much for your message, and good for you. I'm happy that at least some people are having some kind of reprieve. Maybe it's Boateng. You say, I think Doctor is making us sad tonight. It seems currently nothing good is coming out of Ghana. It is not good at all. Greetings from Lisbon, Portugal. Well, maybe I think he can only report what he experienced. You see that I pressed him very hard to try to see whether we could get something positive to smile about, but it seems he has not brought any good news. And if this is the only good news, as somebody said that you should bring us something, maybe should keep the bad news. We don't need that. Oh, we don't want that. But we'll push him. Maybe let's go to politics and see. Probably we'll have some good news from that place. So if you just tuned in, this is MyView Show here live from Today Ghana News TV, where you are watching us. And our guest for today is Dr. Jerome Kwan. Dr. Jerome Kwan is the co-host of this show who has been away from Ghana, and we are getting his experience as what he experienced in Ghana when he was there. He's also from the Ghana Good Governance the Africa Good Governance Network. And if you are also listening to us, we are here live on Sakina Information Center in Tetali in Northern Ghana. And we're also live on High FM 3.7 in Nigeria, in the Eastern region. And we are live on the King's Radio and also on all social media networks, including Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and all your favorite networks. This is MyView Show here live on TodayGhanaNews TV. We would welcome Dr. Pan back, and then we would try to see whether we can get some good news from him. We'll press him very hard in the political arena. At least, what is good is that we are going to touch on both sides. So at least there's no way we are not going to get some good news out of you. Doctor, welcome back.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Yes. So while you were in Ghana, we here have also been monitoring the political space and the political atmosphere. And what we know, at least if not from what we have been reading in the news, from what our political guests have been telling us and what they make us feel, we know that the political season is well in place right now and that things are heating up. And what we know is that over the past few weeks, the governing party, the New Patriotic Party, outdoored their long-awaited, running mates, and they did so in grand style. First of all, they did so by in Kumasi, of course. That's where the outdooring was done. They first of all went to Menchia to pay homage to the overlord of Ashantiman, and then from there they went and they had a mammoth rally in Kumasi, where he was outdoored to to Ghanaians. The subject of which we were meant to discuss 3 weeks ago, because the Convention People's Party took exception to some of the pronouncements that were made. Maybe we'll come back to that, but before we get there. Only over the weekend, the main opposition party in Ghana, the National Democratic Congress, also had an event in Ghana. As a matter of fact, they launched their campaign proper in Tamale, where they said they were reconnecting in Tamale because Tamale used to be their base. And I think a major theme for the campaign launch was to reset Ghana, or to reset Ghana. Now, something striking happened. I mean, if you want to compare those two events, they may be two separate events. One was the outdooring of the running mate of the New Patriotic Party. The other one was the launching of the campaign. But if one is to compare, something significant happened. The NPP seemed to have had a very mammoth rally, like I said, which was a gathering of people from all over the country. Now, the National Democratic Congress, from the commentary, they also had some crowd, but the commentary that we hear is that they say that they are adopting a new approach to campaigning and that they are dealing with organic members of their party. And so their interest is not to gather a whole lot of people under one roof or in one place to campaign, and that they are more going to go to micro campaigning where they would have mini rallies all over the place. Now, I am introducing this to get to the broader topic of political party finance, because for a lot of people in the political space, they say that all our problems, or not all our problems, but a majority of our problems in governance, not in politics, but in governance, always have to do with political party financing and how we go about it. So now, let's look at the traditional and the traditional way of organizing rallies in Ghana, or campaigning in Ghana, where we have had this whole system of buzzing people from all over the place to bring them to one central point, of course, to disseminate the information. What would you? I mean, what was the argument for something like that? What is the rationale behind something like that?
Yes, thank you very much once again for this question. If you look at it, um, when we started the constitutional rule in the Fourth Republic, at the initial stages, busing of people to rallies was a good strategy. It was a good strategy because greater part of the electorate who could not read and understand the policies of the various parties were looking at the crowds that were following the parties and voting for them. So it worked for a period of time. But the beginning of everything, you have these difficulties. Right now, the Ghanaian voter has experienced the two big parties several times. They have now considered their lifestyle and the situation where they found themselves. They have considered the promises that political parties have made to them before elections and government and not fulfilling them. So where we have right now, issue of very large rallies do not play any role anymore. And if you look at the bigger rallies, very often, if you look at a study that was done by Simpson after the 2012 election, it showed that very often it is the party in government, incumbent parties, because they have more financial backing, they have state access, so they are able to move these people and hold those bigger rallies. Now, opposition parties very often are not financially sound because most of them, excuse me to say, do not think of tomorrow when they are in government. So they don't build their base to be able to survive how long they could be in opposition. So when it comes to that, the government or the party in government very often pays less attention to the interior areas. So they try to bring the people to the major cities to come and do their food thing and share money among these people. And some people, to be very honest with you, for a whole year, the person has not been able to count in his or her hand probably 500 Ghana cedis. And that is what they use to get them. But now the opposition, because they are not financially sound, they need to reduce the size of their rallies and rather go down to give out their messages. But unfortunately, because every officer of the party at the constituency level, at the branch level, wants to be noticed for tomorrow's gains, they want to show the party hierarchy, the flag bearer, and all the people that matter that they are working hard. And what shows that they are working hard? If you are coming to visit my constituency, I must ensure you come and meet a very big crowd. And that very big crowd will tell you that that is the work I'm doing on the ground. So even if they do not get finances from the top, they try to generate their own funds and bus people to rally grounds to tell the officers that we are doing the work on the ground. Which is unfortunate because with this in place, you are unable to determine your own strength and followers before the day of the elections. Sometimes you do wrong calculations because of the number of people you see at the rallies. And at the end of the day, it comes back as X on your own face. So you wonder why you would have attended a rally in your constituency, Nadoli Kalio constituency, probably in Nadoli at Ghana, where the primary school is, which is the field they usually use. And then you go and find that that rally was attended about 5,000 people. Then on the day of the election in Nadoli town itself,
Yeah, no 5,000
then you
votes.
realize that the total population, voter population is not being up to 5,000. So where have the rest come from? So that's the difficulty that we have. But looking at
Well,
it,
well, you see,
then,
the issue here is that in other parts of the world, what happens is that people who feel a belonging to a political party do not wait for the political party to carry them to any place. They do not wait for the political party to give them paraphernalia. Rather, they, when they hear there's a rally, they fare themselves to the place and they actually buy paraphernalia, which is a form of generating money to the party they believe in. But in our part of the world, it's the opposite. That the one who is attending the rally to listen to the person they say they love rather feels the need to be not only bussed there, but to be accommodated there, to be fed there, to be given paraphernalia, in some cases, even be given per diem.
yes.
For, how do you call that, for attending a rally. And is that the reason why some people say that the cost of running campaign or running elections in Ghana is increasing as long as during the duration of this Fourth Republic, the cost of running elections have just been going off the roof year on, year out? Is this what it is?
My brother, I think those who are vast and they are expecting to get some handouts and blah, 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 we do not have to blame them at all. We have to blame the system that we operate.
Okay.
My brother, my father was a teacher. He taught for so many years. At least he taught for more than 35 years before he went on retirement. His benefits was not even sufficient to put up a very good structure as a house. The people that he taught, let's assume that those who even fail to go to advance in their educational ladder and decided to be following some politicians, and all of a sudden they have accrued some money and they have made themselves, they have become candidates, and they eventually get elected as a member of parliament. 4 good years. When he leaves parliament, his ex gratia can pay the pension of over 100 teachers. You see the lifestyle our own politicians live. That is why if you even go, let's just get down to the various political party organization, the branch level, the constituency level, the regional level, and to the national level. You see how much people pay to get into those positions. So if you look at it, the branch executive is going to be a delegate at the constituency level. So if you don't pay, then it means that at the constituency level, it goes against you. So once people are able to generate all these funds, where are they getting the funds from? So they have created, you see, even as a member of parliament, you are supposed to be enacting laws and ensuring that things are going well. But the members of parliament have shown themselves to be development agents, promising roads, promising this, promising that. So it tells the people down there that there's a lot of sugar out there that people are going up for. And when you win, and then you disappear for the next 4 years, nobody sees you. You reappear in your V8, roof over, then you are up there waving at them. Then they think that no, that is not what the intention that they were having. No wonder that right now, even as a member of parliament, you get up in the morning, you have a queue around your whole house like you are in the hospital, and people need little money for you for birthday celebration, for funeral celebration, for fees and all that.
And,
That is what that is what we have created, and that is
to
what
marry
is eating us up.
to marry second and third wives.
To marry second and third wives, and that's how I'll be coming to you to collect some money one day so that I'll marry my third wife. So that is where
Well,
we are.
Anyway,
we have created that situation. We have created that situation. So here in the developed world, people are paying, they are contributing, and once they contribute, they are contributing for good governance. There is no room for you to go in and undertake any corrupt activities. You'll be accountable. You cannot come and tell us that you have taken bank loans to do road left and right. No, people are paying, and then they buy paraphernalia, like you rightly said, as a form of fundraising for the party. But on our side, it is not so. But it is us who have created it. And once we have created it, until we are able, I'm wondering whether we'll be able to change the system, to change the narratives. I'm wondering.
Dr. Kwadi, it looks as if I am unsuccessful in extracting good news out of you this evening. But I will give it one more shot. One more shot. And this is my final attempt. I told you about an outdooring of a running meet. During the outdooring of the running meet, one of the of the highlights of that event was that the newly outlawed running meet said that of all the governments that have been in existence, since Ghana came into existence, that the Akufo-Addo government is the best thing that has happened to Ghana since sliced bread. Now, we have tried very hard to get something in this conversation that we have had with you this evening, to get something that we can celebrate over. So how do you reconcile your experience in terms of health, education, politics, economy, all of these topics that we have explored this evening? How do you reconcile what you have said to what this person said? Because he seems to be living on the other side of the spectrum, or his account does not seem to bear any semblance with what you are saying. So, what is the problem there? Is it that you are not experiencing Ghana, or your stay was too short, and so you do not have enough experience to authoritatively talk about Ghana, or he rather is out of touch with the situation that is happening in Ghana?
Well, I don't know the angle from which he came from, and I don't know what motivated him to even make such a statement. Because if you look at the hardship that Ghanaians are going through at this particular moment, anybody who is sitting on the fence would have expected that the governing party, the New Patriotic Party, should go out there and apologize to Ghanaians that whatever they promised them, they have not been able to deliver. That would have been the best thing. But to go out there and tell Ghanaians that since independence, the Akufo-Addo government has performed better than all the governments that have been in power, I mean, it's an insult to the intelligence of Ghanaians. If for nothing at all, Dumso, people are struggling with Dumso. Instead of you apologizing, you have not been able to add a single megawatt to the electricity that has been generated. We pride ourselves by the Akosombo Dam, which was created or inaugurated by no other person but Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And you have not been able to do a single thing. The 20 kilowatts solar power that they generated, they created at Kaleo before President Akufo-Addo went to commission the second phase. The whole thing, the first phase was done. We are not talking about it. If for nothing at all, the provision of drinking water to the various places, the various communities. If this government was able to even at least successful fight galamsey, about 5% of it, that would have given us a better source of water. Right now, the cost of treatment of water, drinking water, has quadrupled to the extent that the Ghana Water and Sewerage Company has to stop some of its processing plants. If there's anything at all, this government should have done that and then come and tell us that they have performed better. In terms of education, I cannot say what it would have been if the NDC was in government. But where we are today, they pride themselves by free senior high school. Yes, free senior high school has come to stay. But what is the product? You have students who are giving exams and answers to learn to go and write. And then you pass them and you come and tell us that the pass rate is high. But in reality, they cannot defend the grade that they are coming out with. And you come and tell us that you have performed better for the way. My brother, fuel prices, petroleum products in the country has gone so high that today they themselves are blaming it on the exchange rate. Who needs to control the exchange rate? It's under your ambit. You have not been able to control it. And yet, you want to pride yourself by being the best government. You know, political parties, they are said that I scratch my back, you scratch my back. So when we are looking at them, you have to look at them from the face value and from your own experiences. Where we sit now, just look at, you see, the new Patriotic Party is running the government of the day now. They have had their own strategy to be able to rewrite the history of our country. Is it about taking away the Republic Day that has made them the best? Not at all. If you look at our currencies, you know, the two Ghana currency had the face of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. They have deliberately withdrawn that in circulation because they want to get rid of Nkrumah in the history of the country. So if anybody would want to pride the MPP government of this day as a government that has performed better than all governments in the system, it is only the running mate of the MPP who would have seen it. It is only the current president who would have seen it, but he himself even knows that indeed he has failed Ghanaians. Look, consider our road network. Consider they going to say that Sky Trains, they have paid money. Where are we? The railways, we can probably give a bit of credit to the NDC government because NDC that came, they didn't create the Ministry of Railways, but they created rails with trains that were running. These people have created railways ministry. This is not the first time. This is the second time of them in government. And as we speak now, what do we have? So if there is anything at all, the comparison should be between the MPP and the NDC because they have all run the country on two different terms. That's what we should be comparing, but not with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's regime. As we speak now, all the educational systems in the country, apart from what Kwame Nkrumah created, maybe we have to credit the rest to the NDC government. Has this government created one single university in their existence? Not at all. So what are we talking about? Why would you come and say that a university that Kwame Nkrumah built and established, where you attended, and you were boasting about eating chicken and whatever it is in the university, you and I, we had to cook for ourselves for how many years in the university when we came out? So if today you say that your government is the best, on what basis? On what basis? You know, the
Well,
previous, even MPP against MPP, consider if you want to compare Kufuor's regime to that of Nana Akufo-Addo, then there you realize that yes, indeed, the Kufuor regime did a better job. They stabilized the economy, and many more people, right? Banks were running after people to take loans. You have come in, indigenous banks, you have crashed them. You have crashed them. You have put people on the street, unemployed. And then you want us to clap for you as being the best government since independence? No, it's not possible. My brother, it's not possible. How much do you buy even drinking water, right? How do you call it? Sachet water in the country. The price has jumped up. And you want us to clap for you? You go to a very simple health facility. Even snake vaccine, you cannot get it. And they want us to clap for them? No. We, the citizens, will need to rise up. We need to call them. We need to make them accountable. We have to let them be accountable to us. But once we are satisfied with the freebies that they give us at the end of the day, they do whatever they want and then come and insult our intelligence. Nobody, no government should be compared to the Nkrumah's government as of today. No, we cannot be doing those comparisons. We cannot.
Well, fortunately or unfortunately, you are back here. But the problems of Ghana would always follow you here. So you cannot run out. You cannot run away from your umbilical cord. We have tried. I think our viewers and listeners would bear me witness that I have tried as much as possible to squeeze some good news out of him. But try as we may, we were unsuccessful. And one could have said that maybe he had a different experience, but this is also backed. His experience is backed by the comments that we have had from our viewers and listeners, that indeed times in Ghana are tough. Be that as it may, we would like to thank Dr. Jerome Kwan for making time to join us today, this evening, and to share, first of all, his experience with us. But before we do that, let's take some comments that just came in. Patience Dak, you say you are most welcome, Dr. Jerome Kwan, and you are watching us live from Hamburg in Germany. Thank you very much, Patience Daku, for always doing the viewing as always. Then we have Robert Kimpe. You say, thank God for a successful campaign. The 24-hour economy is the game changer. You are watching from Paris in France. Thank you very much, Robert Kimpe. Ghana Himfie, you say the political system is a mess. The leaders are not for the masses. You are watching and listening from Bususu in Fantiakwa South District. I love this program. Thank you very much, Dr. Yaboy. You say, Doctor, you said it all. We are happy listening from Adilima Community Information Center at Tutupene and KJB. Thank you very much, Yao Boy, for sending in that information. And so before we sign out, we would like to say a very big thank you to Dr. Kwan, as I was saying, for making time to join us this evening. But more importantly, for sharing his experience with us from Ghana. He didn't have to, but he chose to share his experience with us. And for that, we are most grateful. So, Dr. Kwan, thank you very much for making time to join us this evening. And we are sure that next time when we call on you, next time we will not call on you. Next time you'll be calling on us. So next time when you return to the show as the host, to give our listeners a very wonderful dose of your wonderful scintillating hosting as usual. So we would be waiting for you to, join us very soon. But as always, thank you very much for making time to join us today, this evening.
It's a pleasure having me. I'm very grateful.
Yeah. So thank you very much. And we also say a very big thank you to our listeners on Sakina Information Center in Tatali in Northern Ghana. We also say thank you to our listeners on High FM 3.7 in Achimima in the Eastern region. We also say thank you to our listeners on the King's Radio in Accra, and also thank you to all our viewers and listeners on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram, on all your favorite social media networks. And so, till we come your way again next week with another exciting show, stay blessed, stay safe. God bless you. God bless Ghana. Good night.
The country where I come from, the truth is an irony. Just like animal farm, justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence, Islamic leaders silence.